Hello, my name is Moana, and I'm from Hawaii. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, what I hated most was when my parents argued and yelled at each other. And it happened a lot. But there were some moments when we'd all laugh together. Like when I turned 3, Dad came home with the biggest unicorn doll for me, and Mom baked my favorite vanilla cake. It was the happiest day of my life.
Moana, you're the best thing that's ever happened. When you were born, our world changed.
Yes, darling. You mean everything to us.
Mom worked as a secretary at a big insurance company, and Dad worked at a local store. So we lived a pretty average life. But then one day, when I was 4, Mom came home driving her boss's expensive car and told Dad that she was leaving him. Please don't go, Mom. I love you.
Oh, my baby. Tell you what, you will visit me at my new house every weekend.
I watched Mom pack her bags and drive away. And Dad was so sad. He told me that he and Mom were now separated. Months later, he took me to visit her at her new fancy house, and she was sitting with her boss, carrying a new baby.
Moana, I'd like you to meet your baby sister, Luisa.
Luisa was the luckiest little baby because her dad bought her all the toys in the world. I liked going to their mansion, and Mom would be so happy every time I visited. But soon, Luisa started crying so hard for Mom's attention that it became difficult for us to spend any time together. Once, when I was 5 and Luisa was a toddler, Mom took us to the zoo and bought us both candy. But Luisa threw hers into the raccoon cage, and then she started crying hysterically for more. She even started pulling Mom's hair, and I gave her my candy so she'd calm down and give Mom a break.
Oh, Moana, thank you so much. You've always been such an understanding child. I hope your sister grows up to be just like you.
Thanks, Mom. I just want you to be happy. Since Mom had left, Dad always tried to hide his sadness and make me laugh with his jokes and dramatic bedtime stories. And I tried my best to always make him proud and happy, too. Once, in 2nd grade, Dad came to my school for a parent-teacher meeting, and my teacher, Sina, told him all sorts of nice things about me since I was the top student in her class.
Wow, I'm so proud of you, darling.
You should be. Moana is a very special little girl.
Right after the meeting, Dad invited Sina to come with us. For pizza. He looked really happy around her. And soon after, he started seeing her more often. And I didn't mind at all because she was very nice to me. Once, in 4th grade, we went to the skate park together, and Sina showed me how to skateboard.
Okay, I'm not letting go of your hand until you're strong on your feet.
I think I can skateboard on my own. Look! I let go of her grip and jumped up, feeling as if I were flying. And then suddenly my leg twisted and I fell down hard. I felt dizzy, and I saw Sina running towards me as I blacked out. I was rushed to the hospital, and my leg was put through so many scans and then bandaged up. Sina couldn't stop crying.
This is all my fault. I'm so sorry, Moana.
No, please don't blame yourself. I wanted to do that on my own. Dad hugged Sina to make her feel better, and just then, Mom barged in with Luisa.
How could you let this happen?
She started yelling at Dad, and they both got into a big argument, forgetting all about me. Guys, stop! Everyone looked at me, and then Luisa came closer to my bed, looking angry.
I had a big concert today. I was the lead. But now I'm here because Mom was worried about you. You ruined my concert.
Luisa, you can't speak to your sister like that. She just got injured.
Luisa pulled an ugly face at me, and just then, the doctor walked in with some bad news. He told my parents that my leg would never be normal again. I walked with a limp, and at school I couldn't participate in any sports. But I still remained the top student in the class, and everyone was so nice to me, since I'd never had trouble making friends. And I always helped them with their homework. One day when I was in 7th grade, Sina watched how I helped some kids understand a math equation, and she was so impressed.
Moana, you would make a really good teacher one day.
Yes, I would love to be a teacher one day, just like you, Sina. Sina really cared about me, and when I was in 8th grade, Dad told me that he wanted to marry her. I was so happy for them. Dad even invited Mom and her family. This was his way of finally making peace. Just before the event started, I found Luisa standing and glaring at the big wedding cake. What are you doing here alone?
Whatever I want. This cake looks so delicious.
Yes, it is, but don't stand too close. We don't want any accidents. She smirked at me, and then suddenly, she stuck her finger out and scooped the frosting off the cake. Hey, you can't do that. but she just laughed and reached for the cake again. I ran forward to pull her away as she tried to push me off. We both started wrestling and crashed straight into the cake. Just then, Mom and Dad appeared, looking speechless.
What have you girls done?
It wasn't me, Dad. Honest. Mom surprised me when she yelled at Luisa.
I'm so tired of your behavior, Luisa. Your father has spoiled you so much that everywhere you go, you ruin things. Moana was such a good child compared to you.
Well, maybe I should tell Dad to send you back to your poor family.
Both Dad and I were so shocked at the way Luisa spoke to Mom. And after the wedding, when I visited Mom again, I noticed that Luisa was awful to Mom all the time and bossed her around because her dad gave her the power to do so.
Mom, my Prada jacket still has a stain. Get it cleaned right now. I need it for school.
Okay, dear.
Why are you so mean to Mom?
Because she never does anything right. And if she doesn't listen, my dad will kick her out.
She's our mom. Don't you love her?
Well, she loves you more. So I guess I love my dad more.
When I tried to talk to Mom about what was going on in her life, she told me not to worry and said she could handle it. There wasn't much I could do to help her. One day in 10th grade, I was studying in the school library when a boy came out and sat on the table opposite to me. I knew exactly who he was. Maui! He was one of the hot, popular guys at school and was reading one of my all-time favorite books. My eyes kept wandering to him now and then, and I tried not to make it too obvious, but he was just so gorgeous. And while I sat zoned out in my fantasy, he suddenly started waving in my face.
Hey, are you okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't staring. I was actually,
It's okay. I'm used to it. That's why I sometimes come in here to hide away from the girls coming after me. My parents wanted me to be a model because of all the attention I get.
Yes, you're very good looking. Modeling would suit you.
I actually like books and reading. I don't like being in the spotlight.
I was so surprised because I always saw him surrounded by girls. I was never after him because he was way out of my league. But after meeting him in the library, we actually became good friends because we had so much in common. One day, he asked if I'd like to see the latest Disney movie with him, and I was so excited that another kid in school liked that kind of stuff. We even dressed up like the characters and had the time of our lives. I'm so happy to finally have a Moana partner.
Me too. You're such a cool person to hang out with.
He looked deep into my eyes, and then he leaned over and kissed me. I was so shocked because it all felt like a dream. And then I looked down at my leg and started doubting myself and wondering if any of this was real.
Hey, what's wrong?
Maui, you're like the hottest guy on this planet, and there's so many pretty girls without any issues like mine. So why me?
There's nothing wrong with you, Moana. You're perfect.
Maui liked me just as I was, and I learned to love myself with my brokenness. Life at school felt great, until one day, Mom called me with some surprising news.
Honey, Luisa will be joining your school. She got expelled from her fancy private school because she was bullying kids.
But Mom, she won't fit in at my school.
No other school will accept her. Please look out for her and show her around. Maybe she can learn something from you.
The next day, Luisa walked into my school wearing a pink fluffy coat and black shades. Just as she approached me, a group of girls snuck up behind her and spray-painted her coat.
What is wrong with you fools? This is Dolce & Gabbana. Oh my gosh, you ruined it.
The girls went ballistic and lifted her off her feet.
What did you call us?
Put me down.
When I told the girls that she was my sister, they let her go.
What is wrong with the people in your school?
This is not one of your fancy schools, and all the newbies get spray-painted. It's tradition.
That's why I hated the idea of a public school. Poor people have no class.
She was such a snob. While I was showing Luisa around, we bumped into Maui, and he kissed me before running off to class. Luisa looked at me, stunned.
Oh my god, how did the hottest guy in school end up with you?
Why? What's wrong with me?
Everything! You're boring! You dress like a granny and you have a broken leg.
You're just a very ugly person inside and out, Luisa.
I'm going to steal him from you. Watch and see.
I wasn't threatened by my stupid sister. After school, when Maui walked me out to the gate, Luisa ran after us and slipped her number into his pocket. Before I could say anything, Maui spoke up.
Luisa, what's wrong with you? I'm with your sister, and I'm crazy about her. Please, just stay away from me.
I smiled widely as Luisa turned red. And just then, Sina came to pick me up. We had to wait till Mom came for Luisa, and she yelled on the phone at Mom for being late.
Hey, you can't speak to your mom that way!
Mind your own business, lady. You are not my stepmother.
Luisa was just out of control. I decided I was done with her. I completely ignored her for the next day at school, and during recess, she insulted some girls by calling them poor, and they all surrounded her, but I didn't run to her rescue.
Hey, aren't those girls hurting your sister?
Yes, but she can't control her awful mouth. Whatever happens to her, she deserves it.
Yeah, but she's still your sister.
Maui always had a way to make me think twice, so I stepped into the circle of girls and found my sister crying.
Moana, please tell them to bring back my bag.
Not until you promise to change your ways, especially how you speak to Mom.
I promise. Please, please save me from these mean girls.
It's not so nice when it's done to you, right? I told the girls to leave my sister alone, and then she joined me and Maui for lunch. And to my shock, she actually apologized for being a jerk.
I'm really sorry, Mona. I've always been mean to you and Mom because I always felt she loved you more. But today, when those girls were mean to me, I felt what it was like to be the weak one. I've hurt so many people already.
Well, it's never too late to change. Later that day, when my stepmom and Mom came to pick us up, Luisa apologized to both of them too. And then Sina told us some thrilling news. She was pregnant. Oh my God. What? I'm gonna be a big sister again.
That baby's lucky to have you, Moana.
And you, Luisa, will be the best big sisters ever. Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm from New Jersey. I was born to loving parents just 3 years after my older sister, Aurora. The whole family celebrated my birth, and Aurora and I were inseparable. She always had me glued to her, and we did everything together. But as I got older, our parents realized something was wrong with me. I couldn't hear them. I only reacted if they spoke really loudly or really close to me. They rushed me to the doctor, and we found out that I had a problem in my ears that made me nearly 70% deaf. A surgery would fix this issue, but I had to be much older to go through it safely. So I grew up deaf in a world full of sound. While Aurora enjoyed music, laughter, and went to school like everyone else, my parents decided to homeschool me with an army of special tutors.
There's schools for kids just like her?
Yes, but she's our special girl, and we want to give her all our attention.
Aurora had a life I dreamed of every day. She got to have heaps of friends while I was too scared to talk to the kids in my neighborhood. I once got jealous watching Aurora dance to music. My parents went out of their way to make me feel better. They bragged about me all the time.
Scarlett is beautiful, and she's a genius. She did her speech therapy in record time.
Mom, I topped my entire grade. Look at my report card.
That's nice, dear. Scarlett can lip read too, you know. Show them. It's such a fun game.
I got ready to show off my skills, but Aurora suddenly got up, threw her report card on the table, and ran into her room. What was the matter with her? I was too wrapped up in my life to understand it. But Aurora started having little meltdowns all the time. She hated that my parents always let me choose our vacation spots, choose where to eat, and bought me anything I pointed at. When Aurora asked for the same things, my parents just told her to share mine.
That's not fair. Why can't I have what she has?
We can share. I have like 100 clothes.
I'm talking to Mom.
I didn't want Aurora to hate me, so I sent her some pretty dresses as a gift. She sent them back to me, all cut up in pieces. Are you kidding me? When I reached the 7th grade, I was finally ready to get my surgery, and all my parents could do was worry about it. Even I was a little scared, but Aurora couldn't care less. She was a school topper and a cheerleader now. She was also best friends with the richest girl in town, Kat. Her dad was so powerful, he employed half the adults here. Aurora spent all her time lounging in Kat's huge pool house. Even though Kat was the worst, she was super mean and controlling. She even gave her friends strict guidelines on how to dress. One time, Aurora wore the wrong shoes with an evening dress, and her friends ditched her. Kat is a moron. You shouldn't be friends with her.
Mind your own business, turd.
I still hoped that Aurora and I would be normal sisters after my surgery. But the day I went to the hospital, she didn't even show up. I went into the hospital with my heart burning with anger. If Aurora didn't care about me, then I didn't care about her anymore. When I woke up from surgery, I couldn't stop weeping. My parents' voices, the doctor's voices, and my own voice. Everything was setting me off. It took time and effort, but with my parents' support and therapy, I slowly got used to living in a sea of sound. On my first day of joining regular school, my heart was hammering. I'd literally taken my first few steps into the hallway when I saw the most beautiful girl in the entire world just casually standing by the lockers. She was looking right at me, and her mouth was moving. I read her lips without even trying. Did you just say I'm pretty?
What? How did you hear that?
I have good ears. I'm Scarlett.
I'm Marina.
I shook her hand, and my heart wanted to dance. She was actually gonna be in my classes. School was exciting. It was a little weird making friends when I could still lip read. I was only 40% accurate, but that was enough to accidentally see some awkward things. I just pretended I knew nothing. But one day I saw two of our teachers talking, and I couldn't help but stare. They were talking about giving us a surprise test tomorrow. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I just prepared alone, right? So I told everyone in my class what was going to happen. Marina looked really surprised.
But how did you know?
I can lip read, just a little bit. I used to be deaf.
Wow, really?
A literal crowd jumped on me all of a sudden. People had a million questions about my life. Everyone wanted to play the lip reading game. They would mouth dumb things at me, and I had to guess. Banana olive juice? No, I love you. Aw, you're just saying. La 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 la. The whole class was rolling in laughter. I had no idea I was so fun. By the end of the day, I got invited to 3 different sleepovers. I was really enjoying my new popularity. Until one day when I learned a secret I couldn't forget. Aurora was hanging out with Kat and a gang of cheerleaders, and I saw them mouthing the words spray paint and plan. That made me curious, so I sneaked closer to them to hear what they were saying. Kat was planning to vandalize the school building this weekend, and she was making her friends help her. When I reached home, I went into Aurora's room to talk to her alone. I know what Kat is planning to do this weekend.
You little sneak! How did you know? Did you lip read us?
It doesn't matter. You can't go spray painting buildings with her. She's gonna get you in trouble.
Mind your own business.
Why do you let that jerk push you around?
That jerk's dad is literally our dad's boss. She's really powerful.
So let her get in trouble alone. She refused to listen to me. I didn't know what to do. But I couldn't let her get mixed up with that awful girl anymore. So I told my parents what she was about to do. Her bully of a friend is gonna make her vandalize the school. My parents were furious at Aurora. They yelled at her and then grounded her for the next 2 weeks.
You told on me. Isn't it enough that you're our parents' favorite? You just had to do this.
Aurora, if you get caught, you could get suspended or even expelled.
As if you care about what happens to me. Stay out of my life.
Aurora shut me out hard. After that, she ignored me at home and in school. That Monday, the principal announced that Kat and her group had been caught ruining school property, and they all got suspended. I thought that would soften Aurora's temper, but she still didn't want to talk to me. I couldn't stay upset about it for too long, because one day I opened my lockers to see flowers and a note inside. It was from Marina.
Too shy to say it in person, but ever since we met, I can't stop thinking about you. Want to go out with me?
I was so happy I was gonna faint. A real-life fairy just asked me out. I texted her yes and literally floated on air for days. I was so nervous on my first ever date that my hands were shaking. I even spilled a soda all over us. But that was the moment she chose to surprise me and kissed me. She was just perfect. Marina was funny, clever, and even my parents loved her. Our relationship was pure and blissful until we reached the 9th grade, and she finally introduced me to her mom. That was instant hate. Her mom didn't want her dating a girl, and it showed. She asked Marina to dump me, and when she didn't, she started ignoring her. She bought her siblings presents and took them to dinners. But she purposefully left Marina out. I hated to see Marina upset, and I foolishly thought if her mom got to know me, she'd like me. So for Marina's birthday, I set up a family picnic in the park as a surprise. But Marina's mom spent the whole time bragging about her siblings.
My son has a new job, and my eldest daughter is going to college with a scholarship. I'm so proud of you both.
Mom, I won an art contest last month.
Art contest? Ha ha! Sounds lame. Your sister won a science scholarship.
Bitter tears filled Marina's eyes, and she stormed off in a huff. She worked hard on that contest, and you called it lame just to hurt her. You're insane. I went after Marina and saw her weeping, and suddenly it reminded me of Aurora getting ignored by our parents. Unlike Marina's mom, my parents didn't give me more attention to hurt Aurora. But the end result looked exactly the same. My parents were wrong for how they treated Aurora. I was just too mad at her for not being there for me, and I couldn't see it until now. Aurora still avoided me at home and at school, but it finally made sense to me, and we didn't speak again until the evening of the spring dance. Marina and I wore the prettiest dresses and were so excited to go to our first dance together. But we'd only been there for an hour when Marina's mom showed up.
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to see all the handsome boys you rejected to date this rude girl. That one. Oh, that one.
Mom, stop it. You can't be here.
You can't date this girl. She called your own mother insane.
That's because you are insane.
People were staring at us, and someone even turned the music down.
My daughter never spoke to me this way before you came along. I hate you.
Her mom picked up the bowl of punch, and she was gonna throw it at me. I prepared myself for the splash, but suddenly Aurora flew in between us and pushed her away. Marina's mom went flying back right into a table of food. The entire hall watched her in pin-drop silence before exploding into whispers and laughter.
Call the principal. His students attacked me. They're crazy.
The teachers were furious at Aurora for pushing her and disrupting the dance. They gave her 6 weeks of detention and called our parents to pick us up. When we got home, they tried to yell at Aurora, but I stopped them. Marina's mom deserves everything she got. You should be proud of Aurora for standing up for me.
She stood up for you this one time. Before this, she was planning to vandalize buildings. And before that, she was constantly fighting with you.
That's you. Your fault, not hers. Yeah, you heard me. You were so eager to make me feel good, you ignored Aurora since we were kids. That's why she hated me.
We may have given you more attention, but we loved you both equally.
No way. You acted like I didn't even matter. Nothing I ever did was good enough for your praise, while you wrote actual songs about Scarlet.
Aurora, you were healthy. Topping your classes, cheerleading, making friends. You didn't need us as much as she did.
That's not true. I was upset. Making friends with bullies and getting into trouble. I would be suspended or expelled if it weren't for Scarlet. I'm a mess. If you loved me as much as you loved Scarlet, you would have seen that.
Aurora burst into tears while my parents looked stunned.
We did take your achievements for granted. And yes, we were more worried about your sister. But we love you both the same.
Then why don't you act like it?
We didn't want Scarlet to be jealous of your life. We worried about her getting hurt in a million ways, but that's not an excuse. If we let you think for even a second that we didn't love you, then we really messed up. I'm so sorry, Aurora.
We love you both more than our own lives. We're sorry we haven't shown it. We'll do better from now on.
Aurora grabbed my parents in a hug, and I wiped my tears off and joined them too.
Hi, I'm Judy from New York. Please like and subscribe. I was raised by a single dad who loves me dearly. He's a successful businessman, and even though he's always busy, he makes sure to give me all the time I need. But when I first started school, I noticed that all the other kids had their moms dropping them off, and they all seemed so happy.
Dad, I want a mommy too. I want hair like these girls.
But sweetie, I can braid your hair too.
And then, when we got home, Dad tried to braid my hair, and of course, it turned out perfect. He really is amazing. Once, when I was 8, we were playing hide and seek, and I snuck into the basement and found a beautiful guitar. I asked Dad whose it was, and he said,
"It's your mom's, sweetheart. She was an amazing guitarist. This was her last guitar, so I've kept it here."
But I took it to my room and started playing it on my own. Dad was amazed by my talent, and soon I started participating in school competitions. Shortly after I turned 14, Dad gave me a huge surprise. He announced that he was getting married. I was pretty excited about having a mom, and even more thrilled when I found out she had a daughter my age, Alice. But the first time Dad took us all out to dinner, Alice didn't even bother to look at me. I asked her to pass me a glass of water, but she completely ignored me. How rude! And my stepmom said to me,
"Oh, honey, Alice has a hearing problem. And even though she has her hearing aids on, she likes to pretend she can't hear a thing."
Mom, I told you to keep that a secret from them. Can't you just keep one thing to yourself?
Hey, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And we're going to be a family soon, so we don't need to keep secrets.
Oh, Judy, honey, you're so mature for your age. I'm so excited that we're going to be a family.
but Alice looked like she was ready to jump at me. My goodness, she was terrifying. On the wedding day, while we were posing for family photos, Alice suddenly stepped on my foot and I screamed. The picture ended up making me look like a screaming chimpanzee, and Alice showed it to everyone. I got along well with my stepmom, but Alice was like a demon from hell. She would scream and throw tantrums over the smallest things, and she didn't care about hurting anyone's feelings. One time, my stepmom and dad had a date, and as she walked down the stairs in her new dress, Alice screamed.
OMG, don't tell me you're wearing that. It's hideous, and you look so fat in it.
That's because I gave birth to a mean daughter like you and lost my charming figure.
I could see the sadness in her eyes. It was clear that Alice's words had really hurt her. So I quickly ran to my room and brought her a dress that suited her perfectly.
Now you look perfect. Dad won't be able to take his eyes off you tonight.
My stepmom hugged me tightly while Alice stormed off in anger. Over time, my stepmom and I grew closer. We often went shopping together, and I would spend time helping her in the kitchen.
Oh, honey, you're like the daughter I've always wanted.
And I could see the angry glare from Alice in the distance. One time, when our parents weren't home, Alice deliberately ordered spicy food. As we started eating, my throat began to burn, and I couldn't find any water. I ran around searching for it, but Alice just stood there laughing.
Look at you, running around like a mad cow. I should have added more chili to it.
You witch! You did this?
Yes, I did. That's for trying to steal my mom from me.
I jumped on her and yanked her hair, and she yanked mine. A few minutes later, our parents walked in and caught us fighting like wild monkeys.
She put chilies in my food and...
But you didn't die, did you? And Mom, look what she did to me.
That's enough, Alice. 1 week here and you've started to show your true colors. I'm so ashamed of you. Say sorry to Jane now.
What? Have you grown old and gone crazy already? I'm not saying anything to this jerk.
The next day was Alice's first day at her new school. I was in the cafeteria with my friends when I saw Alice walk in, but suddenly she slipped and fell flat on her face. A girl, known by everyone as the school bully, started giggling.
Oh God, who's this new clown in town? Do that again so I can make a video.
You found that funny, you ugly face loser?
Alice grabbed a plate of food and threw it straight into the girl's face. Suddenly, the bully and her cronies rushed at Alice, pinning her against the wall. That's when their eyes fell on Alice's hearing aid.
Look at that! You're a freak! And you dare to mock me in front of everyone, huh? How dare you call me an ugly loser?
I was really upset by the bully's actions, so I ran over and pushed the bully away.
That's enough! Leave her alone!
You really want to mess with me because of this weirdo, Jane?
Who are you calling a weirdo? Huh? It better be your mother.
After saying that, Alice shoved the bully to the ground and she started crying. All the other girls ran off to help her. Then Alice turned her anger on me, going completely berserk.
I don't need you to save me. You got it?
Wow! Is that your thank you?
No, that's my stay the heck out of my face and my business. Mom's stupid enough to fall for your little Miss Perfect act. But I just think you're trash.
She stormed off and I didn't speak to her for days. Then, a few days later, I saw Alice hanging out with those awful bullies. But I didn't care. She had that attitude too. They were a perfect match. I was getting ready for a big art competition and was totally focused on that. But one day, while I was practicing in the art room after school, I overheard some kids talking outside.
Mrs. Susan not a teacher? She's a witch. How dare she fail all of us? We should teach her a lesson. She loves her stupid garden, right? Well, destroy her garden tonight.
Tonight? But...
No buts, Alice. Are you in or out? Do you want to be part of the gang or not?
Cool, let's do this.
It was Alice's voice. Oh my gosh, this girl is really getting herself into trouble. With Dad and my stepmom away, I felt responsible for this idiot. That night, when she was sneaking out, I walked into her room.
Alice, I heard what you guys are planning to do. Don't do this. Those people are bad, and they're no one's friends.
Why can't you keep your stupid nose out of my business? You're just jealous that I hang out with the cool kids and you've only got your stupid guitar to keep you company. Just buzz off.
And she slammed the door right in my face. Ugh, I was so done with her. A whole night passed and she still hadn't come home. I was about to fall asleep when I suddenly got a call from Alice. She sounded terrified and begged me to come pick her up, but when I got there, she was nowhere to be found. I started to think it was some stupid prank when I heard a noise coming from the bushes.
Judy! Judy!
I found her sitting there crying and clutching her ankle.
Oh my God, what happened?
When we were destroying the garden, suddenly the alarm went off and everybody panicked and started running away. But I sprained my leg and no one wanted to help me, so I hid here in the bushes.
It's all right. I got you. Let's get you to the hospital first.
I rushed her to the hospital and got her treated.
You were right. Those people aren't my friends, and thanks for.
Thanks. I didn't know you were familiar with that word.
Look, I'm saying I'm sorry. Don't make this harder for me. And please don't tell Mom.
I promise I won't.
After that day, we actually started to get along a bit. I thought things might finally change between us. But one day during lunch, my stepmom pulled 2 tickets out of her bag and said,
Judy, sweetheart, I have a surprise for you. I'm taking you to the biggest art theater in the world in Paris. We're going to have so much fun together.
Alice snatched the ticket from her hand and went crazy. I understood why she did it.
Just the 2 of you. Am I invisible to you? Your own flesh and blood.
But Alice, you don't like art or traveling or anything. I've asked you so many times.
So, I shouldn't go to Paris. Will you guys go and have fun without me? This is ridiculous. I hate you.
Alice threw her plate on the ground and ran to her room, angry tears streaming down her face. She always reacted so poorly, but I felt a little bad for her too.
I think we should take her. It's Paris, and I'm sure she'd love to travel with you and me.
Stepmom reluctantly agreed and said she'd get her a ticket too. But the very next morning, I woke up to stepmom screaming at Alice,
You brat, stay here. I just got a call from the principal. You destroyed your teacher's garden. You destroyed your teacher's garden. They recognized your face in the CCTV camera and they were going to expel you. Do you know how much I had to beg them not to? And I have to cover all the damages. Why don't you just let me live in peace for once, Alice? Why can't you just be like Judy?
Why don't you just go and enjoy your vacation with your perfect daughter? Then why waste your time on me?
Alice!
I had an amazing time, but when I returned, the biggest shock was waiting for me. I found Alice sitting in my room with a twisted smile next to my mom's guitar, shattered beyond repair. I screamed and angrily lunged at Alice as my stepmom ran in and pulled us apart.
She smashed the only guitar my mom left behind. They were the last thing I had left of Mom. How could you be so heartless? Alice?
Your mom's guitar? I thought they were yours. I didn't know.
Alice, why would you be so awful? Sometimes I just can't believe you're my daughter.
Oh, you can't believe that now you're the one who made me so crazy. I used to be everything to you, and now Judy's your perfect daughter. Why? Is it because of my hearing impairment? I'm not good enough now? Because you've found someone better to love?
It's not like that. I've tried and tried so much with you, but nothing seems to work. You've always made me feel like you don't even like me. At least Judy made me feel worth something.
And you decided to make me feel worthless. You think you're some saint, but you're actually a horrible mother.
She shoved my stepmom to the ground and ran out of the room.
God, you're just out of control.
My stepmom sat on the floor, crying, and Alice looked confused, as if she had just realized what she had done. She just walked away and locked herself in her room. That night, when Dad came home, I told him everything that had happened, and he went to talk to Alice. 2 days later, Dad told us that Alice had agreed to go to therapy, and she quietly left without saying goodbye to anyone. I wanted to see her right away. After all, we had lived together for a long time, but she refused to meet me. So I focused on my studies and worked hard to earn a scholarship at a prestigious art school in Paris. A few days before I was set to leave, there was a knock on my door. I was shocked to see Alice standing there with a package.
Before you start screaming at me, here's something for you. Just open it, please.
I hesitantly took it from her, and as I tore off the paper, tears filled my eyes. It was a guitar signed by my mom.
How? Where did you get this?
Your dad helped me track down the person who bought this guitar, and I used all my savings to get it back. I just felt so terrible about what I did. I know this doesn't make up for everything, but I had to try. I'm working on myself, and I'm fixing my relationship with Mom. And I wanted to start fixing things with you too, Judy. If you can forgive me.
Alice, this guitar means the world to me, so thank you. And yeah, I think it will take us some time to be okay. But we can start today. Friends?
Friends?